All right, welcome back, everybody. Today, we are going to be taking
Mm-hmm.
a deep dive into The Law of One, Book 3.
Very exciting.
Now, The Law of One, if you haven't heard of it, is a series of channeled texts,
Right.
and it's got a really unique perspective on
Yeah.
spiritual evolution
Mm-hmm.
and just the nature of reality.
Definitely.
And so, Book 3, this is where things get
Yeah.
pretty advanced.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to try to break it down, and
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be able to extract some wisdom
Yeah, absolutely.
that can actually be applied to our own lives.
I think that's the goal, right? To take these kind of
Yeah.
heady concepts and see how we can
Right.
ground them
In our day-to-day
Exactly.
Yeah. Mhm.
So Book 3 talks a lot about this concept of a
Yeah.
harvest.
Uh-huh.
And it's a time of planetary transition.
Okay.
It says that Earth is shifting from third to fourth density.
Right. So fourth density being a higher level of consciousness, what would that even look like?
That is the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to try to imagine it, it would be a world where, well, first of all, our thoughts would have a much more direct impact on reality.
Right.
It'd be a place where love and compassion
Mm-hmm.
were the driving forces.
Mhm.
It's not about developing superpowers necessarily, although I think that some of those things might
Mhm.
manifest, but it's a fundamental shift in our understanding of who we are
Okay.
and how we're all connective.
So
Yeah.
in a way, it sounds like we're already kind of moving in that direction.
I think we are. And
Yeah.
I think, with technology.
Because what the harvest is, right? It's the transition.
Yeah, this transition
that
that
we're already starting to experience.
Right, we're in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. The book also mentions that some of us might already be experiencing this shift. Like,
Okay.
it talks about these children who are displaying these extraordinary abilities,
Uh-huh.
like telekinesis and things like that.
Right, right.
So
Yeah.
what about that?
Well, the book suggests that these children might be what are called early fourth density incarnates.
Okay.
Souls who are already attuned to these new energies.
Right.
So they're coming in.
So they're kind of ahead of the curve.
They're ahead of the curve, yeah.
Right.
And it's interesting to think about.
Yeah.
Because, think about it this way.
Yeah.
If you've ever felt this strong pull towards service to humanity, like this deep desire to make the world a better place, the book suggests that you might be a wanderer.
Oh, wow.
A soul from another planet who incarnated here to help with this transition.
Okay.
It's a heady concept.
Yeah, it
There's
is.
a lot to take in, but
Yeah, but it makes you wonder, like, who are we sharing this planet with?
it does.
Yeah.
And I think that
It's kind of a beautiful thought in a way.
yeah, it is beautiful. And
Yeah.
I think it speaks to this idea that we're not alone in this journey.
Yeah.
That there are others
Right.
who are here to help us,
Right.
to support us,
Yeah.
to guide us.
So how do we navigate
Right.
this shift, this harvest?
Well, that's a big question.
Yeah.
And Book 4 introduces this concept
Yeah.
that I think is really helpful.
Okay.
Which is this idea of the
Okay.
dual nature of reality.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
And this is where we get into space-time
Okay.
and time-space.
So can you break that down a little bit?
Sure, yeah. Think of space-time
Okay.
as like our everyday
Yeah.
physical world,
Mm-hmm.
right? Bound by linear time.
Okay.
Time-space is a different realm.
Okay.
Time-space is a different realm.
okay.
Telling that. This
Sure.
is where consciousness exists.
Aye.
Beyond time.
Right.
This is where we go to process
Mhm.
experiences between incarnations.
So it's like
Yeah.
time-space is the backstage area in a way.
Yeah, it is.
Where we're integrating the lessons from our physical lives.
Exactly.
We're reflecting,
Yeah.
we're planning future incarnations maybe.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Okay, so it's like
Yeah.
gross on a soul level.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's also a place where we can connect with our higher selves and tap into a
Okay.
deeper understanding of our journey.
Okay,
right?
this is all very thought-provoking.
It is.
But let's bring it back down to earth for a second.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Book 3 emphasizes the idea of catalyst.
Right.
So any experience that challenges our perceptions, that pushes us to evolve.
Okay.
And we were talking about suffering earlier, and you were saying that
Yeah.
it's not necessary for growth.
Not necessarily.
Right. But how do we use those challenges as catalysts?
Well, it's about
Right?
consciously processing
Yeah.
those challenging moments,
Mhm.
right? And asking ourselves,
Yeah.
what is this experience teaching me?
So it's about finding the meaning
It is,
in
yeah.
those challenges.
Yeah, and it's about, think about a time when you felt
Right.
really challenged,
Mhm.
maybe a personal setback
Right.
or a difficult relationship.
Mhm.
How did that experience shape your understanding of yourself?
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, that makes sense.
that's catalyst in action.
Right.
It's taking these difficult experiences and
Yes.
using them
Yeah.
as fuel for our growth.
You're right. Those tough times can often lead to profound personal growth.
They can.
But it's not always easy to see those lessons in the midst of the storm.
It's not, no.
Right.
But I think that's the invitation here,
Yeah. It's like book 3 is encouraging us to become more conscious navigators of our lives.
I think so.
To actively engage with the experiences that life throws our way.
Yeah, because every experience, whether we perceive it as positive or negative, holds the potential for growth. And the more we can consciously engage with those experiences, the less likely we are to repeat the same patterns. And the more we can accelerate our evolution.
So it's not about seeking out suffering.
It's not.
But it's about shifting our perspective.
It is,
To see the opportunities for growth hidden within every challenge.
Yeah, and I think that's a really empowering way to look at it.
Yeah, it is.
Because it gives us a sense of agency. It helps us to feel like we're not just victims of circumstance.
It puts us back in the driver's seat.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the key.
Now, book 3 also delves into this whole concept of energy centers, the chakras.
Yeah.
Could you maybe describe the 7 chakras?
Sure. Yeah. Imagine your being as a symphony.
All right.
With each chakra playing a vital role in creating the music of your life.
I like that.
So you have the red ray for survival, grounding us in the physical world. You have the orange ray for emotions and power, allowing us to experience and express ourselves. You have the yellow ray for willpower. Helping us to manifest our intentions. You have the green ray for love and compassion, connecting us to others. You have the blue ray for communication, expressing our truth. You have the indigo ray for intuition, accessing that inner wisdom. And then you have the violet ray for connection to the divine, that experience of unity and transcendence.
So it's like our whole being is this intricate system of energy that's constantly interacting and influencing our experiences.
I think so,
But book 3 emphasizes balance, it's not just about activating each chakra,
it's not about,
but achieving harmony.
It's about the harmony
between them. So you don't need to be super powered in any one area. What matters is that these energies are balanced. So imagine like trying to play a beautiful melody on an instrument that's out of tune.
It's not going to sound quite right.
Not going to sound quite right now. So someone with less developed abilities, but balanced energy centers might actually be more in harmony.
I think so.
Than someone with a lot of raw power. Lacking that internal equilibrium.
I think that's a really important point because we often get seduced by power, by these extraordinary abilities. But the real key is balance, is harmony, And
it makes me think about those times when we get so focused on developing a specific ability. Like intuition, for example. But then we neglect other aspects of ourselves, and that can lead to imbalance,
I think it can,
So it's not just about what we're doing externally.
It's not, no.
But about cultivating that internal balance.
And I think
as well.
That's really the foundation upon which we build our spiritual lives. If the foundation is shaky, everything else is going to be shaky. So we need to make sure that foundation is strong.
Because now book 3 also dives into this fascinating concept of the archetypal mind.
This is
like a universal library of wisdom.
It is,
But it's a little bit abstract. So
it is,
well, how would you explain this to someone?
Imagine filled with these universal patterns and a repository of knowledge that transcends time and space. This is the archetypal mind.
All right.
A source of profound wisdom.
So we can actually tap into that.
We can tap into it,
Through our intuitions.
I think so.
So it's like and the ancient wisdom has been encoded in these archetypes.
I think it has,
And it's just waiting for us to unlock their secrets.
And book 3 suggests exploring tools like tarot, astrology, sacred geometry as ways to understand these archetypes and their messages.
So it's like these systems act as bridges.
They do,
between our conscious mind and the archetypal realm.
They help us to...
And they can help us decipher
the language.
The language of the soul.
Of the soul, right? It's like learning a new language.
It is,
One that speaks to us on a deeper level. But how can understanding these archetypes actually empower us in our daily lives?
Well, I think by understanding these universal patterns, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. It's like having
a roadmap for navigating the complexities of life.
Right.
So, for example, if you're feeling lost or uncertain, right, exploring the archetype of the seeker might provide insights and guidance.
Right.
Or if you're struggling with a particular challenge, studying the archetype of the warrior, right, might offer you strength and courage. So it's about...
Yeah, so it's like these archetypes provide us with...
I think they do, yeah.
A framework.
Yeah.
For understanding our experiences and navigating
the challenges of life.
The challenges, yeah. But speaking of challenges, Book 3 also dives into this concept of psychic attacks.
Yeah.
And the Orion group.
Yeah, and this is where I think discernment...
discernment. Can you elaborate on what discernment means?
Yeah, so discernment is the ability to distinguish between different energies, right? And to determine whether they are aligned with our highest good or not.
So it's about developing that inner compass.
It is, yeah.
That guides us toward what serves our evolution and helps us avoid what doesn't.
Exactly,
so how do we cultivate that?
Well, it's a process.
Yeah.
But I think one powerful tool is meditation.
Okay.
By quieting the mind, connecting to our inner guidance, we strengthen our ability to distinguish between those energies that are aligned with our highest good and those that aren't.
So it's like developing a spiritual muscle.
It is, yeah.
It helps us navigate the subtle realms with more clarity and confidence.
More clarity, yeah.
Okay, so it's about tuning into our inner wisdom.
It is, yeah.
That still, small voice within
and remember,
that can guide us through those murky waters.
Right, and remember, Book 3 emphasizes that fear is what these negative groups feed on.
So cultivating a sense of inner peace.
Yeah, so cultivating inner peace.
Strengthening our connection to our own light.
Yeah, connecting to our own light.
Can act as a powerful shield against these influences.
I think it can, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like shining a light into the darkness.
This is.
Illuminating those shadows with your own inner radiance.
Yeah, and Book 3 even suggests visualizing ourselves surrounded by light as a form of protection.
It's like creating a spiritual shield.
Yeah, it's like a spiritual shield.
But this all brings up this question for me about free will, right? If there are these negative groups trying to influence us, does that mean our free will is compromised?
That's a good question. And Book 3 is very clear that our free will is paramount. The choice is always ours.
So we can choose to align
with
fear and negativity.
We can choose fear.
Or with love and light.
We can choose love.
So it's almost like this cosmic tug of war.
It is like
between these opposing forces.
Cosmic tug of war.
And we're the ones holding the rope.
Yeah. And the more we understand the nature of these forces, the more empowered we become to make conscious choices that align with our highest good and contribute to the positive evolution of ourselves and the planet.
It's incredibly empowering to realize that we actually have a say in this grand cosmic drama
we do.
That's unfolding around us.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And it's a little scary.
It can be a little scary.
At the same time.
Mostly exciting, I think.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dives into Book 3. But there's still so much to explore.
There is.
So we'll be back after a quick break to delve into even more fascinating concepts and practical applications.
I can't wait.
So stay tuned.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back.
Okay. It's fascinating as we get further into this, deeper into Book 3. It becomes clear that we're not just talking about these abstract concepts. We're talking about practical tools for navigating this time of planetary transition.
Yeah, it's like the book is offering a roadmap for spiritual evolution.
It is, but one where we have the free will to choose our path.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
one of the key themes that keeps emerging
is this idea of balance. It's not just about activating our energy centers. It's about achieving harmony between them. Creating the symphony of energy.
You mentioned that, Jillian.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, how do we actually know if our energy centers are out of balance?
Well, that's a good question. And, it can manifest in different ways. For example, if your red ray is out of balance, you might experience feelings of anxiety, insecurity, a lack of grounding. If your orange ray is out of balance, you might experience emotional volatility. Difficulty setting boundaries, issues with power dynamics.
So it's not just about these esoteric concepts.
It's not.
But about how these energies actually affect
they do. They affect
our own. everyday experience.
An everyday experience, our emotion, our relationships.
Exactly. What about the yellow ray?
The yellow ray.
Yeah.
Well,
if that one's out of whack.
Yeah, if your yellow ray's out of whack, you might struggle with self-discipline, lack of willpower.
Right.
Find it difficult to manifest your goals.
It's so interesting how it can manifest in such practical ways.
It does, yeah.
What about the green ray?
The green ray, this is the heart center.
Okay.
Okay, so imbalance here might manifest as difficulty giving or receiving love, codependency, resentment, you know?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like our ability to love and connect with others is directly tied to the health of our heart center.
It is the blue ray, the third chakra. When this is out of balance, you might experience difficulty.
Okay.
Communicating your truth, speaking up for yourself, expressing your creativity.
So it's not just the words we speak, but the energy behind them.
It's the energy. It's the
authenticity.
The authenticity, of our expression.
What about the indigo ray?
The indigo ray, this is the center of intuition.
Right.
Okay? So an imbalance here might lead to confusion, difficulty trusting your inner voice.
Right.
Feeling disconnected from your spiritual guidance.
I think that's something a lot of people struggle with.
I think so too. Yeah. It's easy to...
We're so caught up in our head.
We get caught up in our heads.
That we lose touch with that deeper wisdom.
We do.
Within. And the violet ray.
And then the violet ray, this is our connection to the divine.
Okay.
Yeah. And an imbalance here might manifest as a sense of spiritual disconnection, lack of purpose, difficulty experiencing that unity and transcendence.
So basically, any area of our lives where we're experiencing challenges, difficulties, blockages, could potentially be a sign
it could be, of
an energy center that's out of balance.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it.
Right, and it's not about striving for perfection.
It's not about perfection, no.
Right. Or trying to eliminate all challenges.
It's about becoming...
Right, it's about becoming more aware.
Aware of the system.
Of our energy system.
Yeah, and using tools like meditation, breath work, energy healing to bring those chakras back into harmony.
Yeah, so it's not about becoming some kind of superhuman.
It's not about being superhuman, it's about...
But about creating a more balanced and harmonious
flow of energy.
Of energy within ourselves. Right, and speaking of flow... You mentioned earlier that Book 3 offers practical tools for navigating this time of planetary transition.
Yeah, and I think...
What are some of those tools?
One of the key tools is conscious awareness.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's about paying attention to our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, recognizing how they're contributing to the reality.
So it's not just about what happens to us.
It's not just what happens to us, no.
But about how we respond.
It's how we respond.
To those experiences.
Yeah.
The choices we make.
The choices.
In every moment.
In every moment. And remember, Book 3 emphasizes that thought creates, especially in higher densities. So the more we can align our thoughts and intentions with love, compassion, unity, the more we contribute to the positive evolution of ourselves and the planet.
It's a powerful reminder that we're not just passive observers.
We're not passive observers.
We're active participants.
That's participants.
In this grand cosmic drama. Right. But how do we actually shift our thought and intentions?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Right. It's not always easy to control our minds.
It's not, no.
Especially when we're bombarded.
Especially when we're
so
bombarded,
much negativity in the world.
It's tough, you know. But, you know, there are practices that can help. You know, one really effective technique is to cultivate gratitude.
Okay, so by focusing
on what we appreciate.
We shift our energy from a place of lack to a place of abundance. Right. Yeah. Gratitude is a powerful tool for shifting our perspective.
Yes, a powerful tool,
What about forgiveness?
Forgiveness is huge.
Yeah.
You know, forgiveness both of ourselves and others.
Because holding on to...
because holding on to that resentment
or
judgment creates blockages in our energy system.
Right.
And it hinders our spiritual growth.
It's like those
negative emotions
are weighing us down.
They are, preventing us from
moving forward.
We're moving forward of our path.
And Book 3 reminds us that service to others is a powerful catalyst for evolution.
So when we focus on
helping others, we shift our energy from a place of self-centeredness to a place of love and compassion.
So even small acts of kindness.
Even small acts can contribute
make a difference
to the positive evolution of play.
Absolutely. Every act of love, compassion, understanding ripples out into the universe, creating a more harmonious reality.
It's incredibly inspiring.
It is.
To realize that we all have the power to make a difference.
Yeah, we do.
No matter how small our actions may seem.
Exactly.
Yeah. But let's go back to this concept of psychic attacks for a moment.
Yeah.
You mentioned discernment is a key tool.
Yeah, discernment is key.
For navigating these challenges.
Yeah.
But what happens if we do experience a psychic attack?
Well, first of all, remember, fear is what these negative entities feed on.
Okay.
So the first step
Okay.
is to stay calm.
Right.
Avoid giving into that fear.
Right, so don't feed the fear.
Don't feed the fear.
Yeah.
Instead, focus on strengthening your connection to your own inner light.
So it's like shining a light into the darkness.
It is, yeah.
Right. Illuminating those shadows.
Yeah, and
with our own inner radiance.
And visualization can be a powerful tool.
Okay.
Yeah. Imagine yourself surrounded by a protective bubble of white light, deflecting any negative energy.
Yeah, so it's like creating a spiritual shield.
It is like a spiritual shield. Yeah.
What other practices can help us strengthen our energy field and protect ourselves from these negative influences?
Meditation is a powerful practice for cultivating inner peace.
Right. It's like taking a mental and emotional shower.
Like a
cleansing
a mental and emotional shower
of any negativity that's accumulated throughout the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what would
Spending time in nature can be incredibly grounding.
Yeah.
Rejuvenating the Earth's energy.
Plugging ourselves back into the source.
Yeah, it's like plugging into the source.
Yeah.
Recharging our batteries.
Recharging our batteries.
With the Earth's natural vibrations.
Yep.
And then lastly, don't underestimate the power of prayer affirmations. By aligning ourselves with higher spiritual forces, we can draw upon their strength.
So it's about remembering that we're not alone.
We're not alone
in this journey.
Alone.
That there are forces of love and light.
Yeah, and there are.
That are always available to support it.
They're always available. Yeah.
But let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And talk about this idea of the harvest. Book 3 suggests that those who are aligned with service to others, will naturally adapt.
They will,
to these higher vibrational frequencies.
Yes, they will.
Right.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Right.
For those who aren't necessarily aligned with service to others.
Remember, Book 3 emphasizes there's no judgment, condemnation. Everyone's on their own unique path of elevation.
Right.
All paths ultimately lead back to the one
to source.
To the one to source.
Right. So it's not about
being good or bad. It's about
choosing the path that resonates.
Choosing the path
most deeply. With our souls.
With our soul, and the choice is always ours to make.
And as Earth transitions into fourth density, those aligned with service to others will essentially just kind of find themselves riding the wave.
Riding the wave?
Of this cosmic upgrade.
Of this upgrade, yeah.
Yeah, it's like their vibration will...
Their vibration will naturally resonate.
With
higher frequencies.
Higher frequency.
Fourth density.
Or fourth density.
They'll become...
and they'll become these...
beacons of light.
Beacons of light, Guiding others.
Guiding others.
Through this time.
Yeah, through this time of change.
But Book 3 also talks about those who are currently in fourth density.
Right.
But still have to experience the physical death of their third density body.
This is a fascinating concept.
Yeah.
The text suggests that there are already individuals walking among us who are technically fourth density beings.
Okay. So there are people walking among us right now.
You've made the shift in consciousness.
Wow, that's
mind-blowing.
Yeah. But they're still playing out their roles.
So how do they...
It's this third density reality.
How do they manage... to exist.
It's a good question.
In true densities of life.
Honestly, the book doesn't really answer that.
Right.
But it suggests that these individuals might experience life differently than those who are still firmly rooted in third density.
Right. So they might have...
they might have a heightened
sense of intuition.
A
deeper understanding of spiritual principles.
Right. And more profound connection.
Maybe even a more profound connection.
To the unity of all things. It's almost like they're living in two worlds at once.
I think so, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Straddling the boundary. The physical and the metaphysical.
And, who knows? They might even be playing a role in helping to facilitate the transition to fourth density.
Right, acting as bridges. Between the two realms. So we've got these advanced souls walking among us. The planet is shifting into a higher density. And there's this
whole cosmic battle.
Between positive and negative.
Forces playing out around us.
It's a lot to take in.
It's a lot, but
the central message,
I think,
of Book 3
is about
personal empowerment.
Personal empowerment.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that we're not
just
passive observers.
Passive observers.
It's this grand cosmic drama.
We are. Right.
Active creators.
We are active creators.
Of our reality.
Of our reality. Yeah. And that brings us back to this idea of mastering our thoughts and intentions.
Our thoughts and intentions.
Because if manifestation becomes more instantaneous in higher densities,
it does.
Then the responsibility to wield that power wisely.
Greater. Becomes huge.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And that's why I think exploring the archetypal mind, understanding those patterns and symbols that guide our intuition is so crucial.
Right. It's like upgrading our internal operating system.
Yeah, it's about upgrading our internal software.
So we can run more advanced spiritual software.
Advanced spiritual software.
I like that.
Yeah.
So as we upgrade our internal software, we also become
more conscious of the energies we're sending out and receiving.
Right. So as we navigate this time of transition, it's not just about what's happening.
It's not just about what's happening out there.
Out there.
Out there.
In the world.
In the world, no.
No, but about the internal shifts we're making. It's about becoming more conscious creative our individual and collective reality.
Of our individual and collective reality. That's right.
Yeah. This has been an incredibly insightful conversation.
It has.
And what's really striking me is that book 3 isn't just about spiritual concepts.
It's not just about.
But about how those concepts can be applied to our everyday lives. It's about becoming more conscious.
More conscious? Yeah.
More aware.
Yeah, more aware.
More empowered in every aspect of our being.
In every aspect, and the more we embody these principles, the more we contribute to the creation of a more loving, compassionate, harmonious world.
Well said.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after a quick break.
Okay.
To continue our deep dive into book 3. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
There's still so much more to explore.
Okay.
Welcome back to our deep dive into The Law of One, book 3. We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah. Okay.
From the harvest and density shifts to the power of thought and the archetypal mind.
Yeah.
I think what's really resonating with me is this idea that we're not just passive recipients of spiritual knowledge.
We're not.
But we're called to actively apply these teachings to our lives.
I think that's the key. Yeah, it's one thing to intellectually grasp these concepts, but it's a whole other level to embody them.
Right, to let them transform the way we live and interact with the world.
To actually live them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier that book 3 highlights the importance of conscious living.
Conscious living.
But can you expand on what that means?
Yeah, so conscious living is about bringing awareness to every aspect of our being.
Okay.
It's about paying attention to our thoughts, emotions, actions, and recognizing how they are creating our reality.
So it's about asking ourselves.
Yeah, is this thought, this feeling,
this
action aligned with my highest good?
Right.
Is it contributing to a more loving and harmonious world?
Right. So it's not just about grand gestures.
It's not just about grand gestures.
Or spiritual practices. It's about the little things.
The little things.
The everyday choices.
Your choices,
that ultimately shape our reality.
They shape our reality,
It's about bringing mindfulness. To even the most mundane tasks.
To the mundane,
Recognizing that.
Because every moment is an opportunity to express our true nature.
Right.
To choose love over fear.
Choose love over fear,
Unity over separation.
It's like those small acts of kindness.
It is,
You mentioned earlier, holding the door for someone or
right.
offering a genuine compliment.
Those seemingly insignificant actions can actually ripple out and create positive change.
Absolutely.
And remember, book 3 emphasizes this interconnectedness. We are all threads in the tapestry of creation. So even a small act can have a profound impact. It can contribute to a more harmonious vibration.
Yeah. It's a powerful reminder that we're not
isolated individuals.
Just isolated individuals, but we're part of
something
much greater.
Yeah. Our choices matter. Yeah.
Now, book 3 also cautions against becoming overly compassionate.
Right.
To the point of neglecting our own well-being.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a paradox.
It's a bit of a paradox.
How could compassion ever be harmful?
Well, it's not that compassion is harmful, but it's about finding that balance.
Right, between love and wisdom.
Between love and wisdom.
Right, between serving others and
honoring our own needs.
Our own needs, because sometimes in our eagerness to help, we can become depleted.
Right. We neglect our own well-being.
We can neglect our own well-being,
So it's not about becoming martyrs.
It's not about martyrdom.
Right, but about showing up.
It's about showing up as our
most empowered self.
Most empowered self.
Both for our own benefit and for the benefit of others.
For the benefit of others.
And this makes me think about the importance of setting
healthy boundaries.
Healthy boundaries, right. Learning to say no.
Learning to say no, when
necessary.
Even to those we love.
Right, even to those we love. But it's not selfish.
It's not selfish.
Right.
It's about preserving our energy.
About preserving our energy.
So that we can continue to show up for ourselves.
So we can show up.
And others in a
for ourselves and others.
Healthy and sustainable way.
In a healthy way.
Yeah, boundaries are essential.
They are.
For maintaining our energetic integrity.
Yeah, they allow us to create.
Right.
Yeah.
They allow us to create a safe space for ourselves. To heal.
Yeah, to heal.
To recharge.
To recharge,
And this all ties back.
Self-love.
Self-love, right.
Yeah, it's about recognizing our own worthiness.
Recognizing our worthiness.
Treating ourselves with the same kindness and compassion that we would extend to others.
Like book 3 is encouraging us.
I think so.
To become our own best friend.
To be our own best friend. Yeah, to offer ourselves.
Right, to offer ourselves the same
understanding and support
that we would offer.
To
a loved one.
To a loved one. And from that place of self-love, we can then extend that love outwards to others.
It's like a ripple effect.
It is like a ripple effect.
More compassion.
And harmonious world.
A
heart at a time.
Yeah.
So this has been
great.
A rich and insightful exploration.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this.
Of book 3.
Yeah, me too.
As we're wrapping up, I'm just curious, what is one key takeaway that you hope our listeners will carry with them?
Yeah, I think for me, it's this reminder that we are not merely victims of circumstance.
Right, but we are powerful creators.
Powerful creators.
With the ability
to manifest a reality. Aligned with love.
Yeah, aligned with love.
Joy.
And unity. And I think that
power lies within
each and every one of us.
Each and every one of us. It's not some mystical ability.
It's not a mystical ability reserved for the chosen few.
Reserved for the chosen few. It's accessible to anyone.
It's accessible to anyone
who is willing to do the inner work.
To do the work.
To cultivate awareness.
To
choose love. To embrace their role as a co-creator of reality.
To step into that role.
Yeah. And so as we navigate this time,
planetary transit.
Let us remember that.
Yeah, let's remember.
We are not alone.
We are not alone.
We are supported
by forces of
love and light.
By those forces.
Guided by wisdom.
Guided by that wisdom.
From realms beyond our comprehension. Yeah.
And within each of us lies
the
potential
to
create a world
that
reflects the highest aspirations.
That reflects those highest aspirations.
Our souls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dear listeners, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the Law of One, Book 3.
It's been a journey.
We've explored some profound concepts.
Yeah, some profound concepts.
But ultimately, the true journey begins when we take these ideas and we apply them
to our own lives.
So
as you go about your day,
we
invite you to reflect
on
the wisdom
we've shared.
Consider the energies you're sending out and receiving. How can you become
a more conscious
creator
of your reality? How can you embody
the principles of service? Compassion and unity. In your interactions with others.
Yeah, remember, the path of spiritual evolution is a journey.
It's a journey.
Not a destination. Embrace the process.
Be kind to yourself.
Your process. Be kind to yourself.
And never stop seeking.
Until next time.
Keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.